Imagine being the former president of the United States and standing trial for 34 felony counts. The gravity of such charges is immense. But that's precisely the situation Donald J. Trump finds himself in. Hello, and welcome back to the News Media Hants channel. Donald Trump, the first former president to face criminal charges, and his lawyers continue to attack the judge, witnesses, and prosecutors in his hush money case. As always, remember that we value your comments and feedback, and your subscriptions help grow the channel. Thank you for your support, and let's get started. The accusations include hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels and to ex-playmate Karen McDougal, and alleged violations of a gag order imposed by the court. The gag order, designed to maintain the integrity of the trial, has been a pivotal point of contention. Justice Juan M. Merchan, presiding over the trial, issued a stern warning to Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, about the rapidly eroding credibility of their defense. The judge's frustration was palpable, stemming from Blanche's failure to provide concrete evidence or a legal rationale to justify Trump's repeated breaches of the gag order. "You've presented nothing," Justice Merchan told Trump's lawyer Todd Blanche, adding soon after, "You're losing all credibility with the court." As we delve deeper into the chronology of these events, the gravity of these charges becomes increasingly clear. A gag order imposed to ensure a fair trial has allegedly been breached multiple times by the accused, Donald Trump. The gag order, issued by Justice Juan M. Merchan, was designed to protect the integrity of the trial, the witnesses, jurors, and court staff from undue public influence. Yet, the former president stands accused of flagrantly flouting this judicial directive. Trump's alleged breaches are not minor in nature. The prosecution, led by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, has cited as many as 10 instances where he apparently aimed his vitriol at potential witnesses and jurors, using his social media platforms and campaign rallies as his stage. The targets of these attacks were not random. They were key figures in the case, like Michael Cohen, the man allegedly responsible for orchestrating hush payments to a porn star named Stormy Daniels. One particular instance of concern involved a social media post where Trump quoted a Fox News commentator. The commentator was disparaging potential jurors as undercover liberal activists. This, the prosecution argues, is a blatant violation of the gag order's provisions. The judge had explicitly prohibited Trump from discussing witnesses, jurors, or court staff in public statements. By doing so, the former president not only defied the court's authority, but also potentially compromised the impartiality of the trial. This pattern of behavior, as outlined by the prosecution, underscores the critical need for strict adherence to the gag order. It's not just about ensuring a fair trial, it's about preventing undue influence on the judicial process. It's about respecting the rule of law. Christopher Conroy, representing the prosecution, stated unequivocally, "He knows what he's not allowed to do, and he does it anyhow." This brazen disregard for the court's authority demands swift and decisive action. It calls for enforcement of the gag order and holding Trump accountable for his actions. Trump's defiance not only challenges the court's authority, but also potentially compromises the impartiality of the trial. As we await the outcome of this heated hearing, one thing is clear. The stakes are high, and the rule of law hangs in the balance. The prosecution, represented by Christopher Conroy, has meticulously documented each of Trump's alleged infractions. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has put forth a compelling case, highlighting 10 instances where the former president publicly targeted potential witnesses and impugned the jury via his social media and campaign platforms. These infractions are not to be taken lightly. They are seen as a deliberate flouting of the gag order, which was put in place to protect the integrity of the trial and to prevent any undue influence on the judicial process. This pattern of behavior, as outlined by the prosecution, underscores the need for strict adherence to the gag order. A key point of contention is a social media post where Trump quoted a Fox News commentator disparaging potential jurors as undercover liberal activists. This, the prosecution argued, was a flagrant violation of the gag order's provisions. Such actions not only defy the court's authority, but also undermine the impartiality of the legal proceedings, raising serious questions about Trump's respect for the rule of law. Conroy, representing the prosecution, emphasized Trump's persistent defiance of the gag order. He asserted that Trump knowingly flouted its directives even outside the courtroom premises. "He knows what he's not allowed to do, and he does it anyhow," Conroy stated unequivocally. This brazen disregard for the court's authority highlights the need for swift and decisive action. Christopher Conroy, a prosecutor, told Justice Merchant on Tuesday that Mr. Trump had broken the order repeatedly and hasn't stopped. Mr. Conroy added that the former president had made statements violating it even right here in the hallway outside the courtroom. The prosecution's case is further strengthened by their meticulous documentation of Trump's infractions. These documented infractions serve to reinforce the seriousness of the allegations against the former president and the urgency of the proceedings. In the face of such compelling evidence, it becomes clear that this is not a matter to be taken lightly. The integrity of the judicial process is at stake, as is the respect for the rule of law. Trump's blatant disregard for the court's directives underscores the need for swift and decisive action. While the defense attempts to justify Trump's actions as responses to political attacks, the judge and the prosecution remain unconvinced. The defense, led by Todd Blanche, attempted to frame Trump's controversial statements as legitimate responses to political attacks. According to Blanche, Trump was not willfully breaching the gag order, but merely defending himself in the public arena against unrelenting criticism. However, this argument has been met with significant skepticism. The prosecution has meticulously documented and the judge has sternly rebuked Trump's repeated infractions of the gag order. These actions are seen as more than just defense mechanisms. They are viewed as a deliberate challenge to the court's authority and a potential attempt to influence the judicial process. This brings us to the question of potential consequences. If found guilty of violating the gag order, Trump could face additional charges and penalties. The severity of these penalties would likely depend on the perceived intent and impact of Trump's actions. If the court determines that Trump's infractions were a calculated attempt to influence the outcome of the trial, the consequences could be severe. Moreover, the prosecution's strong case and the judge's frustration with the defense suggest that the court may be leaning towards a conviction. However, it's important to remember that in a court of law, nothing is certain until the final verdict is rendered. In this high-stakes hearing, the defense's counter-argument has been met with significant pushback, and the outcome is still pending. The court's decision will undoubtedly have far-reaching implications, not just for Trump, but for the broader political landscape and the rule of law in the United States. As we await the court's decision, the seriousness of the allegations and the potential consequences for Trump hang in the balance. As we wrap up, let's revisit the key points of this intriguing legal saga. We've explored the gravity of the charges against Trump and his alleged breaches of the gag order. The prosecution built a strong case pointing to 10 instances where Trump publicly targeted potential witnesses and the jury. The defense, on the other hand, attempted to justify these actions as responses to political attacks. However, the severity of the allegations and the potential consequences for Trump are undeniable. As the world watches, the outcome of this case could set a powerful precedent for the rule of law in America. Let us know in the comment section why Trump is not deterred by the gag orders.
Thanks for watching. If you like it, comment and hit the like and share buttons. Subscribe for future videos.